Hello, I am Michael Golden and welcome to Mayor's Ham Shack. Today we're going to talk about the Section E of the first part of the Technician License Exam. This has 11 questions in it, and it's all about the control operator, how they're eligible, how those privileges that we are testing for get designated, duties, locations, other requirements, and a few things like that. Now, this is a bit definition based, so we need to understand what a control operator means. So I have just a couple quick definitions for you. A control operator is an amateur radio operator designated by the licensee of a station to be responsible for the transmissions from that station to assure compliance with the FCC rules. So this is the person actually running the radio. Not necessarily the owner or anything like that, just anybody running the radio, okay? A station licensee is defined as the person responsible for the proper operations of the station in accordance with the FCC rules. When the control operator is a different amateur operator than the station licensee, both persons are equally responsible for proper operation of the station. We don't really license a station as an amateur radio operator. Some other countries do, where you have, as an amateur radio operator, you have to have your own license, and then you have to have your actual equipment license, kind of like a car. You need to have the car registered. You need to have the your own license proving that you know how to drive a car. The next part, remote control, the use of a control operator who indirectly manipulates the operating adjustments in the station through a control link to achieve compliance with FCC rules. So the key thing we look at here is internet control, using the internet to control a radio. That's the key thing you need to remember there. Under 97.109 Part C, it says when a station is being remotely controlled, the control operator must be at the control point. Any station may be remotely controlled. So this is a little confusing because if we're operating, let's say you have one of the fancier radios that can be controlled on the internet and you're remoting into it, we don't think of that as being physically at the control point. We think of the control point as the physical place the radio is at, and we're using the internet to remote in. The FCC kind of doesn't look at it that way. It's wherever the actual controls are. So if I pull up a web page, they're saying that's the control point and I'm in charge of that. So kind of quick run through there. Let's jump right into the questions. So let's go into question 1. When may an amateur station transmit without a control operator? A. When using automatic control, such as the case of a repeater. When the station licensee is away and another licensed amateur is using the station. C. When the transmitting station is an auxiliary station. Or D. Never. This is a bit of a trick question here, because when you talk about A, you think of, well, there's not a control operator. But that's not true. Even if it's automatically controlled, somebody is the control operator. That's why the repeaters are required to send out call signs every 10 minutes while they're in use, and oftentimes on the hour and half hour when they're not in use. So that's a trick that you got to avoid. The second thing, when the station licensee is away and another licensed amateur is using the station, technically another licensed amateur using the station is the control operator. They can only use their permissions, their privileges. So that's not operating without a control operator. The control operator is the licensed amateur using that radio. Hopefully he didn't sneak into somebody's house and doesn't have permission to use that radio. But that's a whole different legal thing altogether. C, when transmitting station is an auxiliary station, this is just a flat out no. So we're left with the answer D, never. Let's go to the next question. Question 2. Who may the control operator of a station communicating through an amateur satellite or space station? A. Only an amateur extra class operator. B. A general class or higher licensee with a satellite operator certificate. C. Only an amateur extra class operator who is also an AMSAT member. D. An amateur allowed to transmit on the satellite uplink frequency. So this is again a little bit of a trick question. They're trying to get you to think that, oh, because this is a satellite station, it's somehow special. And the reality is, it is not. Same with the space station. It's all about those frequencies and the band allocations for your technician class. What privileges do you have? So, amateur extra, they don't have special access to satellites. B, a general class, same thing. They don't have special access. There's no special satellite operator certificate you have to get. C, only an amateur extra class operator who also is an AMSAT member. This is not true as well. The key thing is D, any amateur allowed to transmit on the satellite uplink frequency. So if you're a technician class and it's on 2 meters, you are completely allowed. If it were for some reason using 10 meters, you are not allowed unless it's SSB, single sideband. That's one of those things we talked about earlier. Technician class is not allowed to use FM on 10 meters at this time. But again, you wouldn't really use that for satellite because you need to punch through that atmosphere. So the answer is D, any amateur allowed to transmit on the satellite uplink frequency. Again, as long as you have the privileges for that uplink frequency, you're good to go. 3. Who must designate the station control operator? A, the station licensee. B, the FCC. C, the frequency coordinator. Or D, any licensed operator. So the person, this is pretty much just, you got to memorize this. We talked about those definitions earlier. A, station licensee. In most cases, station licensee, control operator, exact same thing. 4. What determines the transmitting frequency privileges of an amateur station? A, the frequency authorized by the frequency coordinator. B, the frequencies printed on the license grant. C, the highest class of operator license held by anyone on the premises. Or D, the class of operator license held by the control operator. This one's a little tricky, okay? So especially when we're thinking about clubs, we're getting clubs together. We have different people. We have some technicians. We have some general. We have some extra. An extra, if you're a new operator and you don't have your license at all, an extra may bring you in and show you an HF radio and let you transmit on it. They're right there. They're present. Even though you may even be hitting the buttons, they're monitoring you. They're watching you. So they are still the control operator. You can go use their call sign for frequencies. As long as you have their permission, you can go on the extra frequencies and do that. Using the club call sign, I can go into the extra privileges so long as I have an extra operator with me managing and controlling the station, so that I can still kind of do his thing. I have to use the club call sign. I can't use my own. There is a part in the Part 97 that says, oh, you can use your call sign so long as you also give the extra call sign at the same time. But you're operating as that club call sign, not as your own in reality. So the correct answer is D. The class of operator license held by the control operator. Just depends who are you calling the control operator. Are they there in front of the radio? Everything's good to go there. 5. What is an amateur station's control point? A. The location of the station's transmitting antenna. B. The location of the station's transmitting apparatus. C. The location at which the control operator function is performed. Or D. The mailing address of the station licensee. So again, when we got into those definitions a little bit, we talked about the control operator. We also talked about remote, and well, how is that defined? So just be straightforward. The answer is C, the location at which the control operator function is performed. So arguably, my control point could be that website that is I'm using. I could be, somewhere in Texas and my radio is in Ohio, and I'm using that web page to manage and manipulate the radio. So the control point here is that web page. Number 6. When under normal circumstances may a technician class licensee be the control operator of a station operator in the amateur extra class band segment? So the key here is under normal circumstances. A. At no time. B. When designated as a control operator by an amateur extra class licensee. C. As part of a multi-operator contest team. D. When using a club station whose trustee holds an amateur extra class licensee. So this falls into me too as a general. If I am transmitting in the amateur extra and I have the amateur extra sitting next to me, I am not the control operator, they are. So that gives us the answer A, at no time. When designated as control operator, like I said, it can't be a control operator. C, part of a multi-operator contest team. Nope, I can operate within my privilege. If the other guys are busy operating radios themselves as well, they have to stay in their privileges. I can't just say, well, I got an operator way over there, so I can operate in the extra. That's not true. I have to be only in my privileges at the time. Number 7. When the control operator is not the station licensee, who is responsible for the proper operation of the station? A. All licensed amateurs who are present at the operation. B. Only the station licensee. C. Only the control operator. Or D. The control operator and the station licensee. So you might think, well, only the control operator is, but that's not true based on the way FCC talks about things. The answer is D. Again, this is probably just something you just need to memorize. It's control operator and station licensee. This whole station licensee control operator thing in the FCC Part 97 rules is very confusing, considering that we don't have a, licensee for this actual physical equipment. It's only the person operating it that really matters. Which of the following is an example of automatic control? A. Repeater operation. B. Controlling a station over the internet. C. Using a computer or other device to set CW automatically. D. Using a computer or other device to identify automatically. So this can be a little bit confusing. So because a lot of times, especially on HF, the really nice HF radios, you can record your CQ calling out for identification purposes, and then you can just hit a button and it calls out. The key thing here is hitting a button to make that happen is not automatic, according to the FCC. Other than identifying, you're still needing to use it and do other things. It's not just randomly identifying on its own. So the correct answer here is a repeater operation. The repeater itself is automatic. If I'm transmitting here to hit a repeater, the repeater reacts based on me connecting to it, and so it is working automatically. Which of the following are required for a remote control operation? A. The control operator must be at the control point. B. A control operator is required at all times. C. The control operator must indirectly manipulate the controls. Or D. All of these choices are correct. So again, let's go back about a couple things we talked about. A. The control operator must be at the control point. We talked about that earlier, that is true. Even if the control point is a web page that I'm accessing, as a control operator, I'm still at the control point at that point. B, a control operator is required at all times. That is 100% true. If you're the control operator, you must be present there. So that kind of tells us what the answer is going to be, but let's look at C. The control operator must indirectly manipulate the controls. Again, that is true. So they must at least at some point be saying, hey, you can press push to talk, hey, adjust this, adjust that. They're in charge of running that radio. So in the end, the answer is D. All of these choices are correct. 10. Which of the following is an example of remote control as defined in Part 97? A. Repeater operation. B. Operating the station over the internet. C. Controlling a model aircraft, boat, or car by amateur radio. Or D. All of these choices are correct. So as we talked about most of the situations when we're talking remote control, we know a repeater already is automatic control. Then we have operating the station over the internet. We talked about that. That one is correct. C, controlling model aircraft. Nope, there's still manual activity involved. It's not technically remote. It's still within your area. Or D, all of these choices are correct. So if we know repeater is not and B is, we know B, operating the station over the internet, is the correct answer. Last question. Who does the FCC presume to be the control operator of an amateur station, unless documented to the contrary is in the station records? A, the station custodian. B, the third-party participant. C, the person operating the station equipment. Or D, the station licensee. So again, this one is kind of confusing based on the wording they're using and all that. The answer is D, the station licensee. Control operator, station licensee, same thing. FCC assumes that. We assume it. It's almost always true. All right, let's go ahead and reset. And we're going to do like in the previous videos where I'm just going to read the question, give you a couple seconds, and then reveal the answer. We'll do that for all 11 questions. And then when we're done, hopefully you've learned, helped memorize. You can go back and re-watch them and re-listen to them if you need to. So let's get started. Again, quick definitions. Control operator, station licensee, remote control. Make sure you know and understand those. If you don't even try to memorize the answers, at least try to understand these 3 points. Question 1. When may an amateur station transmit without a control operator? A, when using automatic control, such as in the case of a repeater. B, when the station licensee is away and another licensed amateur is using the station. C, when the transmitting station is an auxiliary station. Or D, never. And your correct answer here, D, never. Question 2. Who may the control operator of a station communicating through an amateur satellite or space station? A, only an amateur extra class operator. B, a general class or higher licensee with a satellite operator certification. C, only an amateur extra class operator who is also an AMSAT member. Or D, any amateur allowed to transmit on the satellite uplink frequency. correct answer. D. Any amateur allowed to transmit on the satellite uplink frequency. Question 3. Who must designate the station control operator? A. The station licensee. B. The FCC. C. The frequency coordinator. Or D. Any licensed operator. And your correct answer, A. The station licensee. Question 4. What determines the transmitting frequency privileges of an amateur station? A. The frequency authorized by the frequency coordinator. B. The frequencies printed on the license grant. C. The highest class operator license held by anyone on the premises. Or D. The class of operator license held by the control operator. And your correct answer is D. The class of operator license held by the control operator. Number 5. What is an amateur station's control point? A. The location of the station's transmitting antenna. B. The location of the station's transmitting apparatus. C. The location at which the control operator function is performed. Or D. The mailing address of the station licensee. And the correct answer is the location at which the control operator function is performed. C. Number 6. When, under normal circumstances, may a technician class licensee be the control operator of a station operating in an amateur extra class band segment? A. At no time. B. When designated as the control operator by an amateur extra class licensee. C. As part of a multi-operator contest team. Or D. When using a club station whose trustee holds an amateur extra class licensee. The correct answer, A. At no time. Number 7. When the control operator is not the station licensee, who is responsible for the proper operation of the station? A. All licensed amateurs who are present at the operation. B. Only the station licensee. C. Only the control operator. Or D. The control operator and the station licensee. And your correct answer, D. The control operator and the station licensee. Number 8. Which of the following is an example of automatic control? A. Repeater operation. B. Controlling a station over the internet. C. Using a computer or other device to send CW automatically. D. Using a computer or other device to identify automatically. And the correct answer is A. Repeater operation. Number 9. Which of the following are required for remote control operation? A. The control operator must be at the control point. B. A control operator is required at all times. C. The control operator must indirectly manipulate the controls. Or D. All of these choices are correct. And the correct answer is D. All of these choices are correct. 10. Which of the following is an example of remote control as defined in Part 97? A. Repeater operation. B. Operating the station over the internet. C. Controlling a model aircraft, boat, or car by amateur radio. Or D. All of these choices are correct. And the correct answer is B, operating the station over the internet. Last question. Who does the FCC presume to be the control operator of an amateur station, unless documentation to the contrary is in the station records? A, the station custodian. B, the third-party participant. C, the person operating the station equipment. Or D, the station licensee. And the correct answer is the station licensee. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you find this helpful. Please thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any questions, want to make a comment. If you loved it, you hate it, please leave a comment and let me know how you feel so I can keep making these and make these better. Take care.